What's up, everybody? Hey, Tom Laird here, host of the Advice from a Call Center Geek podcast and founder of 𝗧𝗲𝗰𝗵. For exceptional contact center outsourcing, trust 𝗧𝗲𝗰𝗵. We're fully AI-driven, as all of you know, and can handle voice, email, chat, and all of your digital channels. Our 600-seat USA contact center is expert in healthcare, financial services, insurance, tech support, retail, and more. Experts on the 𝗖𝗵 platform, we ensure seamless customer experiences. DM me or visit 𝗧𝗲𝗰𝗆usa.com for more.
This is Advice from a Call Center Geek, a weekly podcast with a focus on all things call center. We'll cover it all from call center operations, hiring, culture, technology, and education. We're here to give you actionable items to improve the quality of yours and your customers' experience. This is an evolving industry with creative minds and ambitious people like this guy. Not only is his passion call center operations, but he's our host. He's the CEO of 𝗧𝗲𝗰𝗆 Interaction Marketing Group and the call center geek himself, Tom Laird.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Advice from a Call Center Geek, the call center and contact center podcast, where we try to give you some actionable items to take back in your contact center, improve the overall quality, improve the agent experience, hopefully improve your customer experience as well. My name is Tom Laird. I am the CEO here at 𝗧𝗲𝗰𝗆 Interaction Marketing with one of my great contact center friends, John Coulter. John, how you doing, buddy?
Great. Appreciate you taking some time for me this morning.
So John is basically he's a VP at 5-star contact centers. And John, please correct me if I'm wrong. Basically in charge of all the sales operations that you guys do at 5-star and kind of the beginning of onboarding. Is that kind of, am I giving you enough credit or not really?
Oh, too much credit probably, right? And no, I do everything from sales, marketing, onboarding, and then I kind of run in the background of all of our clients just from a strategy, new implementation technology side.
John and I just literally had an hour-long talk kind of on the state of not only the BPO space, but I think the contact center space in general, nearshoring, offshoring, technology, and just kind of said, hey, let's hop on here. This is kind of an impromptu podcast, but I think these really become the best and talk about some of those topics that we just discussed that was really helpful to me and hopefully to you too, but I think can maybe have some help for everybody. Let me start with something that you said that I thought was awesome. And then I know there's some other topics we want to get to here too. You talked about in the BPO and in the outsourcing world that you see 2024 as kind of the year of the nearshore. And you said 2025 is the year of kind of AI and automation. Can you just maybe talk and let's talk and discuss that a little bit? Because I thought it made total sense to me. Maybe you can just talk a little bit more on that.
Yeah, I think where we're headed is there's lots of cool tools out there, lots of great technology. Adoption is starting to come around, but use and understanding how to use it is a whole nother level. So I think the time it's going to take companies to start digesting, learning, and augmenting that technology in the call center is going to take some time for them to learn and understand that. So that's one piece of it. The second piece is, as cost, almost every one of our partners, most groups we talk with, 2024 is a big budget. Hey, can you reduce my customer service budget by 10%? I need to reduce my technical spend by 10%. So as businesses are looking for reduction in costs, nearshore has been a great play. We have migrated about 3 clients nearshore in the last 6 months, really more of a blended rate. So they've got, maybe tier 1 or offline support nearshore, and then they've got some of their more complex within the US. What's nice in that model is allows us to learn it, use our technology, and then over the next 60, 90 days, we can start augmenting and or running analytics and then diving into ultimately the self-help tools and some of the automation that companies are looking for.
John, the other, I think, cool, and I think that makes sense. We see so many, and we kind of talked about this too, right? We see so many companies that are purchasing technology and they say, hey, we have this technology, but nobody knows how to use it. And I think so many newer tools are coming out now that, from a BPO standpoint, we have to almost become the experts, right? To kind of help customers with those tools. So that's a lead into my next question. And a lot of the tools that are out there that people are talking about, they're talking about auto summarization from an AI standpoint. We're talking about agent assist, right? We're talking about like IVAs and LLM chatbots and kind of getting into this AI world. I have had strong opinions on a lot of this, and it's really cool to talk to somebody else that is dealing with this stuff every single day too. We talk about different use cases, and I just did a couple videos on like, what is the real ROI on some of this AI stuff? Without me like poisoning your mind, can you talk about, again, two of those main things that everybody talks about right now, which is agent assist and auto summary? What are they good for? What are they not good for? Like it's not just like, hey, we got to have this stuff, but when is the proper use for both of those kind of things?
Yeah, agent assist is an interesting one. You know, if in a chat and email standpoint, a chat, for example, I love the agent assist where it can pop specific phrases for the agent. So it's literally a copy drag versus typing, right? I think that makes great use case. I think that makes sense. From a, conversation, a voice standpoint, we haven't seen it really ROI for our clients, mainly because our agents are trained. They know our partners or our clients' information. So that's really where we haven't seen a huge ROI on the agent assist. But, the auto summarization has come a long way from an accuracy standpoint. So we do really like that. Our clients that are on Salesforce or Zendesk, we're able to absorb those calls. Ultimately, they note, the key messages within the conversation. Agent can just scan it and submit it, and it's done. That has definitely been a big win for us. We do a lot of technical support. So you got to document, here are all the troubleshooting steps we went through. Yep. But just having that tool do that for the agent has been a huge time saver, because then our agent's not worried about typing. All they got to do is worry about, solving the issue, and then the auto summarization takes care of that.
One of the things too that I think will be becoming an industry, not just in the BPO space, but in the contact center space overall, a topic that a lot of us are struggling with is do we build some of this stuff internally? Do we go purchase these tools? You and I have had so many conversations at so many shows about, everything right now is so vendor led, right? Everybody kind of jams this stuff down your throat, like, hey, you got to have this. This is, but I'm like, I don't really want that, or maybe I could do that ourselves. Especially when you start to see all of these companies just popping up doing this stuff. What are your thoughts on, when you talk to a customer, or if you want to do something right for a customer, like you purchase that technology, can you build it in-house? What are some of the thoughts that you guys have with that?
Yeah, one of the things you said earlier that we always kind of remind ourselves is don't chase technology, right? It's always going to be changing. There's always going to be new companies. And if you're always looking for the next greatest thing, you're just going to continuously be looking for new technology to adapt, and you're never going to be an expert. You're just going to know a little about a lot. So we've really challenged our team to really focus in on the technology we use, and let's use it to its full extent. Same thing when we onboard our clients, we look at their current tech stack. Can it do, virtually we ask, what are your 5 main things? What do you want to accomplish with your technology? And then we'll dissect whether that technology has that capability or not. And if it doesn't, they could, go on our technology and we can help them. Or if they have it internally, we've got resources we can refer them to, or we've got a pretty good team that can help build that stuff internally. So really just depends on what their current use is and what they ultimately want to accomplish.
Here's a question and a conversation starter too that there's no answer to. I mean, there's no like, this is the answer. It's more of a discussion. I mean, we are not struggling, but thinking through. I think that's probably the better way of all of these different tools, right? And what AI tools really have the most bang for the buck from a client standpoint. What do clients really want? I mean, it's almost a lot of clients are like that 8-year-old child that says, I want that, and I want this, and I want that, because they saw the ads on TikTok, right? And it's kind of like the same concept. It's like, hey, we need this, we need this, we need this. But coming up with that, all right, guys, what's our main goal here? What's the plan? What are the 5 things that we want to accomplish? And I think we're starting to see some of those things, reoccurring, like with some of the technologies. But what do you guys do as you're trying to learn, right? Because again, I think as a BPO, we really do have to become more experts in certain pieces of the technology to help roadmap our customers or clients that that maybe are internal that don't really have that expertise in the CX space. What are some of the things that you guys are doing and kind of to learn, I guess, about what's real, what's not real?
Yeah, what's nice in our world is we've got 45 clients, and we're able to kind of see half of those clients we provide the technology for, half bring in their own technology. So it's kind of fun to be able to see what's working in one industry that applies to another industry. Everyone's talking about analytics and AI and how does it help my business, and that's like the new flashy term is AI, which I think there's great reporting. I think there's great use internally for that information. Ultimately what we've seen the most of is, again, it comes back to how can you help reduce our expenses, right? So we've really focused on self-help options and identifying how to identify those. So really tools that allow you to analyze your data is really what we've focused a lot of our efforts on. We take thousands of calls and emails and chats and a lot of social media out there. But what are people really saying that can be automated or provide guidance versus getting to a live agent has really been our focus as we've researched technology.
I think more people there needs to be more voice in the BPO space. I love BPO, right? 'Cause to your point, we're dealing with healthcare, retail, tech support. We're dealing with all these different channels of customer types, which have nuance. On top of that, we're not just utilizing our kind of core set technology stack, but if a client has Five9, they have UJET, they have Genesys, they have CX1, they have all of these that we're utilizing as well. So not only do we see different channels of customers, but then on top of we see all of the technology. And I think that's another, we probably don't talk about it enough, as another huge use case or kind of value add for a really good BPO of like, guys, we've seen that, we've done that doesn't work. I saw this with this customer, which is something pretty cool. Speaking of that, going into this, which is a great lead, and I think is you and I kind of talked about a different model that could happen in the BPO space, especially here as kind of technology is evolving. Everybody's doing things a little bit differently. We always had either you love it or hate it, this champion challenger type model, right? Where maybe somebody had 400 seats and the client wants to go give 50 seats or 100 seats to another one and see how they work and play them off each other. And I think there is value to that to a certain extent. But you brought up something really cool, and I think something that we can evolve upon. And with all this new technology, something I think makes a little bit more sense, which is the champion versus champion type model. Talk a little bit about that, because I thought it was pretty fascinating, and I think it makes a lot of sense and something that I know that you and I are going to really kind of look into as well.
Ultimately, the end goal is to make the world a better place, right? As we want to say, or our clients' lives easier. Where if you're pitting two groups against each other, it's always going to be who's better, right? Who's trying to win, who can win the most. The model we like is a champion-champion model. So we have a few partners that do more of the champion-challenger. We do have a couple that do the champion-champion. What's great in that scenario is it's more collaborative. We're on one tech stack. We're able to analyze all data. All of our agents are stack ranked, intermingled. So you're able to see who's performing well, who's struggling, but ultimately share best practices and learn from each other versus trying to maybe figure out a way to cut a corner to make your results look better. Our job is to figure out how to provide a better customer experience. And if you got two BPOs working side by side, sharing what they're hearing, what they're seeing, what they're doing differently, what can we do to be better as a whole, there's a lot of advantages to that.
And I think, we need to get to, I know Sam, I've talked to 𝗓𝗪, who's another CEO of a BPO in Cleveland, and trying to get, and if anybody's listening to this too, in kind of the BPO world, to even get there's no real kind of leadership, I don't want to say mentor groups, but I think some of this with such changing technologies, there's so many of us that are friends in the space, right? Do we compete? Yeah, of course we do. But I think that there's enough business out there that if we can kind of evolve and kind of help each other, I think everybody wins from our companies to the clients that we service for sure. So, John, it's always a pleasure talking to you, man. We always have a pretty good time at the different shows, but I think, bouncing stuff off you and kind of your CEO, Troy, at the last show that we were at, I think both of us got a lot of stuff out of there. I got a lot of certain things from our contracts from you guys, and hopefully from a technology standpoint, there were some things that went back and forth with us. So I appreciate you joining, and we'll see what 2024 has entailed here, buddy. Awesome.
You and I will make some predictions, and we'll do this again in a year. See who was spot on and who missed.
I like it. And then, hey, if anybody, some of the shows that you're going to, can you throw those out? And then I know everybody can find you on LinkedIn and any kind of socials that you want to give out.
Yeah, Enterprise Connect is a great one. I think it's March this year in Orlando. I think that's a great show from a technology. A lot of big, enterprise type software providers are there, really showcasing what's 2024 hold for them and beyond. Great show. Always a fun time. We'll be at, the Call and Contact Center Expo in June, and then again in October in Nashville. And then AWS is a big one for us as well, with so many clients kind of migrating to that. So
where is Call and Contact Center Expo, the first one? Is that Vegas?
Las Vegas. Yep.
Okay.
And last year we did a cabana party. Maybe we'll do another one this year. Super fun just to connect with people in a more relaxed environment.
Sounds good, buddy. Thanks for coming on. We'll talk again.
Awesome. Thanks, Tom.
All right, John.
Bye.